There is a private, dignified arrival happening right now. The media has been asked by the families to stay at arm's length for this. We're respecting those wishes. Certainly there, they want to have this moment for reverence and privacy, and you can certainly understand that.
But we do know that there is a lot of community support out there today to show the families how much the world appreciates their service to our country. And so we want to go to Lacey Crisp now, who joins us live with some of the Patriot Guard and the American Legion riders who will be part of today's procession. Lacey.
Well, Station Jeff, you can feel the emotions out here. There are hundreds of people lined up, and I can tell you, if I move out of the way, you can see some of the members from the Air Force Wing here lined up, getting ready for the procession for the 3 fallen airmen. Now, people have been lined up here for a couple of hours. If we swing around here, we can show you all of the motorcycles that have been lined up from the Patriot Guard. Now, what I can tell you is, with the 3 fallen airmen, these Patriot Guards have been divided up into 3 different groups, one following each family to the funeral homes where they will rest until the funerals will be planned and held. And I talked to some of the Patriot members about, why they drove, some of them hundreds of miles to come here today. And while most of them have served our country, and they tell me that it's just the respect of the brotherhood, but they also tell me that they're here for the families, but really just for the fallen airmen, to make sure that they're shown the respect and the love and the appreciation, because they did give the ultimate sacrifice. If you can take a listen to what some of the Patriot Guard members told me earlier today.
It's warm. It makes your heart warm that everybody cares. And that they're here.
Are you hoping the families will see this showing of respect?
It would be nice, but it's not that important. We're here for them. They're not here for us. We're here for them.
We owe a lot to our veterans, and everything that they do. So when this tragedy happens, it's the least we can do to give some comfort to the families, let them know that we hurt as bad as they do. We want to get that honor back.
It's important to honor our fallen. I mean, we've all been deployed, and I know some members that I've lost while gone, and being here to represent these 3 young men coming back is an honor.
I think events like this, even though it's tragic, pull out the best in people, patriotic-wise. And unfortunately, it takes things like this to show a bunch of support for the veterans. I think it's there most of the time, but it's easier to see and experience in this type of environment, unfortunately.
To see so many people that have the same mindset is rewarding to me, to know that we're still out here.
For the families right now, I can't imagine what they're going through, having lost people and met parents, as some of the young men and women that I've served with are coming home. Prayers is all I can say.
And now, in addition to the Patriot Guard and veterans who are here in their Jeeps, on their motorcycles, in their cars to follow along in the procession, you can see there are a handful of families here along Rickenbacker here waiting for the procession, for the families to show their respects. And I talked to some of them earlier. They didn't know any of the service members, but they told me just how important it is to pay tribute to their ultimate sacrifice, to show that respect. Station Jeff.
It's really beautiful to see the families coming out that way, especially families who are not necessarily connected to this wing. And you see some of the kids out there. This will impact the young people, especially in remembering this and that message that freedom is not free, which is a very important reminder of what we're seeing today. And I saw one of the patches there, Lacey, on one of the gentlemen you interviewed, standing for those who serve for us. This seems personal to them to be there.
Oh, it absolutely is. And the gentlemen have told me they don't have to know these service members personally, but they say when they talk about boots on the ground, they've been those boots on the ground. Some of them have served for 30 years. They know what it's like to put that sacrifice up to, especially these are all young men, they have young families, and to know what they have given up for all of us, that it's really important to pay their respects and to be here and for that showing for them, not just here in Columbus, but all the way to their final resting place.
And they've served, and they know what that is like, and they are out with one voice. And the community also out there to be part of that voice as well. Super meaningful, and sadly, you get the idea that these people have done this before. And that is just the harsh reality of the fight and the fight for freedom for this country as well.
Yeah, Jeff, most of these members have been, unfortunately, this is not the first procession that they've been in, and they told me it doesn't matter how many there are, they will always be there in times like this to show that respect and appreciation.
Yes, it is true, Lacey, because this does echo a tragedy on the Army side of this base back in April of 2012 when 3 Ohio Army National Guard members were killed serving in Afghanistan. And I know the Patriot Guard and the American Legion Riders were part of the processions bringing them home to their final resting places as well. Lacey, Chris, they're live with the Patriot Guard standing by as this procession will begin soon.
We have you covered with this throughout the day, and team coverage will continue right now. Kevin Landers is right on base there as well. Kevin, you were able to watch the plane come in, that flying missing man formation. You saw that. Tell me about that moment. Who was around you? What were you seeing?
Yeah, this dignified arrival was short but incredibly impactful. You could tell instantly these planes coming in, just the sound of the fighter jets roaring through the sky. I'll give you an idea of where I am. Just to my right is the tower. Behind me, you can see the tarmac, and then behind that building that you see behind me, that is where the planes finally came to rest after they had landed. This missing man formation honors the fallen service members who arrived here this morning. One plane pulls away from the formation, which is signifying of leaving an empty space, and that missing aircraft represents the departed veterans' separation from their family, friends, and the squadron. And as I mentioned, when this plane came in, it kind of made a half circle coming over this way to my right and then around, and then the separation came over to my left over the skies, and you could just hear the planes as it sped over, the roar of the sound through the skies, and you knew just to watch in awe of this really dignified ceremony that the Air Force puts on here. It was just an incredible thing to watch. And of course, we're at a distance, so you couldn't actually see when the planes landed as much, but they are behind the hangar that you see behind me. And like I said, it was short, but incredibly impactful, and what a way to honor these 3 men who lost their lives. Guys, back to you.
Well, and the significance of the plane that they arrived in, that plane is special because the tail art is a unique piece of any of the other planes that they have there at the 121st Air Refueling Wing. The tail art reflects the Minuteman, which is the symbol of the National Guard and citizen soldier readiness. And of course, we're talking about the Air Force side of Rickenbacker today, but that plane in particular carries special meaning. And also, Kevin, we could see the boom was extended as well.
Yeah, that's right. And there were just about a handful of people as we were pulling in who were gathered and parked along the road here to watch the planes come in. Many of them live not too far from here, and they see the planes come in. So they knew where to park to actually get the first glimpse of this. So I think this was a very special moment for them to pay honor to these men and to be here and see this, because obviously this is something you don't see very often at all. Unfortunately, it's during these tragedies that you do witness this. And the people we spoke to just very briefly were obviously parked here, and they wanted to be part of this. They wanted somehow to signify to the families that even though they may not know them, that they're here in their honor, and they wanted to see this missing man formation for themselves, just I think to remember just how precious life is, and obviously the incredible sacrifice that these 3 men gave to our country.
Even just one is too many, Kevin, as we know that. Kevin, it's been about an hour and 15 minutes since we saw that plane land, families on board, with the remains on board as well. Can you give me a sense of the activity since that time? Has anything changed dramatically? Have you seen anything as far as folks coming and going community-wise or not?
No, we haven't actually. As you can see over my shoulder here, this is where the area where we saw the planes kind of drift behind this building here, and then it just was silent after that. We haven't seen any other commotion of gatherings at all here on this part of the property. We're just on the north part of Rickenbacker Airport, but we have not seen anything after they left. After they landed, it was just quiet, and that was it.
Kevin Landers live there for us just outside Rickenbacker.